So going back to the whole concept that you were talking about with the artist perceptions,
Yeah.
I think about all the various artists that we've interviewed over the years and how many of them are older people and how many of them sort of always had a lifelong dream to pursue art, but because, you know, when they were growing up, it's like, oh, you can't make any money as an artist. You've got to have a real job, or, you know, you've got to do this or you've got to do that, have children, you know, raise a family. And it wasn't really until they were in their older years or maybe finally retired that they were able to kind of finally pursue some of that creative stuff and think, wow, you know, I probably could have worked this in had I started sooner. But, you know, you just, like, they just didn't feel like they had permission to do that.
Right.
And so I think that's really great when people come to the artist receptions, maybe people that, you know, kind of like secretly always wanted to do that. And then, hey, I could do this too. I could take a class. Why not, you know?
Right. And it's neat because we're a very non-intimidating place. People feel comfortable hanging their work there, displaying it for others to see, and it's really for pure enjoyment. It's not for profit. It's not for any other reason. It's to showcase somebody's talent and let them have the joy in seeing their work up in a public space. And it's been wonderful. I've seen some of the most phenomenal artwork that people have brought in. They said, oh, it's okay, but I've never put it out on display before. And I just, so are you kidding? It's amazing. Your work is beautiful.
You know, and it's kind of interesting, too, because, I mean, I know I would think if my stuff was that good, I think I would know that, you know? But it's kind of interesting how maybe a person can look at something and think that's not good enough or it's not as good as somebody else's, and you think, oh, what happened? You know, I mean, like, what kind of messages did that person get that they really don't understand how talented they are?
Right.
So it's a nice affirmation, I guess.
I do want to share one little story with you. We have an artist. She was one of our earlier artists. Sherry Tedrick is her name, and she's a watercolorist, and we were her first show. And she came to me, and she said, I've never had my work on display. Are you even interested? Do you want to look at it? And I said, well, bring it in. Let's make some time. And she started pulling it out of her bag, and it brought tears to my eyes. It was gorgeous. And she was telling me a story about her brother, and she cared for her brother for a long time. And before he passed, he said, do me one favor, promise me you will put your work out for the public to see. And so she reluctantly said, okay. And then she came in and said, I promised, so I would like to do a show. It was met with rave reviews.
Oh, how cool.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, she sold several pieces, and then she's been asked since then to put her work in other places.
Really?
And she became a volunteer with the art gallery because of it. And she helps us out with getting the postcards sent around and working with the artists and helping with the reception. And she's found a great connection with us through that. And she's kind of fulfilling her promise to her brother, too, which is so wonderful. Special.
Had she taken art classes, or was she kind of self-taught?
Self-taught.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It blows my mind. There are just so many wonderful people out there with talent that just goes unrecognized sometimes.
You know, this is so interesting, too, because, I mean, there is that thing that, of course, you know, everybody has talent, right? And everybody is talented in some way or another. And I've heard people say, well, you know, yeah, I've enjoyed this, but I've learned so much, and I've really grown as an artist and through classes and doing things. But then, you know, you hear somebody like this who's self-taught, and I think, you know, honestly, there's something to be said for native talent.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people just pick up a brush or a pencil or whatever it is that they pick up, whatever their tool of choice, and what they come up with, you think, I could have taken classes for the next 20 years, and I would have never been able to do anything like that whatsoever.
Yeah,
you know? So I think, yeah. If you have it, you have it. Let's just face that.
Right.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
That's great. What an amazing story.
Yeah.
Is she a local person?
Yes, she is.
Okay, great.
Yeah. She's terrific. And like I said, it just stuns me every time when people come in, and it seems to be this similar story each time. Well, I've never shown my work. It's not that great. and they blow our socks off every time.
And, you know, when you kind of wonder about, too, the impulse that somebody has to make this art, you know, that because it's, you know, you have to go out and buy all the equipment. You've got to get the paint and the paper and all the stuff that you have to do. And then you go home and you make all this stuff in sort of in secret or whatever. And maybe you show it to the, I don't know, the kids or the grandkids. And then you put it away in a drawer and then you make some more because you have that impulse. You know, they have the impulse to keep creating this. But then there's that huge piece of insecurity or shyness or, you know, public humiliation, whatever it is, you know, that makes them not want to do that.
Right.
And so I guess reaching out and kind of, you know, bridging that gap or, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? We feel we've got a unique opportunity to be able to be that kind of launching ground for people. So, have you displayed any artists who maybe began by taking classes there and then kind of developed from that?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
No, we haven't. That would be neat, though.
Yeah, it would. Like to see somebody's evolution of, you know.
Yeah.
I started in a drawing 101 and.
Yeah. I'd love to offer more art classes there, too. So we are always seeking folks with talent that have a desire to teach that would work with us.
Well, you know, there are a lot of places. I mean, there are a lot of places to take art, but sometimes I guess there might be transportation issues and things like that.
Yeah.
So does the Whitecap bus probably come right to your door?
Dial-A-Ride is a fantastic thing. We've got so many folks using that service, and it's wonderful.
How do you use Dial-A-Ride?
Call up Whitecap and tell them you need a ride, and you schedule a time and a day that you need to be picked up, your location and your destination, and they door to door. And
they'll do this over and over?
Yeah.
But you're part of the regular stop, aren't you?
We're a pretty regular stop. Yeah. Yeah, we've got quite a few regular riders, and they have a very set schedule of when they like to get to the center and when they like to be picked up, and it works out great.
And do you do it as a situation where sometimes maybe if a parent might live with the kids and the kids work and maybe the parent comes and sort of drops in for the day, do you do that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or so that they don't have to be home by themselves or something?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got a lot of services, a lot of opportunities available for people. So.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and right now, who's your artist?
Our current display is the Zimbabwe Artists Project.
Okay.
And we got connected with them in a very roundabout way. There's a local gentleman who attends the church that meets at the senior center twice a month. And he saw the gallery and he approached me and said, "Hey, I'm part of the Zimbabwe Artists Project. Would you ever be interested in displaying their artwork?" I said, "Well, sure. What is it, first of all?" And so he and I worked together, and he delivered a big box of wall hangings and painted boards, and it is so colorful, so detailed, and it's really depicts tribal life of rural Africa. It's wonderful. So we've got that display up right now through the end of August. And that's been met with a great response. It's very unique, it's very colorful, and we've not had anything quite like it.
Oh, that's great.
On display.
So this is art created by people living in Zimbabwe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this, I mean, I guess the coordinator or the pastor or whatever gets over there occasionally?
I'm not sure how they handle the logistics of it, but the Zimbabwe Artist Project is a nonprofit organization, and they help to train artists in Zimbabwe and learn a skill that's marketable, or a trade that's marketable, where they can earn a living, and they earn their living through the sale of their artwork.
Okay, so the art that you have there is absolutely for sale?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And about how many, I mean, I guess it's hard to say, it kind of depends, but around how many pieces can you accommodate at any given time?
Right now, we've probably got about 40 pieces up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty significant.
Pretty significant. This particular display is smaller items, but we provide them enough space on the wall to have nice viewing.
And when you do the artist reception, do you try to schedule those on the same day and time each month?
Yeah. anytime we open a show, it's the first Wednesday of that month from 5 to 7. We, of course, couldn't do an artist reception for this particular group.
Right.
But like our next artist will be September, October, and it'll be the first Wednesday of September that we do his receptions.
So typically it's every other month on the first Wednesday, and it's what time?
5 to 7.
Okay, 5 to 7 p.m.
Yep. Free wine, hors d'oeuvres. Meet the artist.
You said the magic words, free wine, hors d'oeuvres. Like, please, thank you. Yes, love some.
Full house.
Exactly. I'm sure. Okay, well, that's wonderful. So right now you've got a, like, sort of not to be missed display, I suppose, because when this traveling, is it a traveling collection?
I would call it a traveling collection.
And after they leave you, who knows where they'll go?
Who knows?
You don't know. And then but you know that you probably already have your next artist scheduled?
We actually are booked out clear through, oh goodness, like June of next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know who the September, October artist is going to be?
September, October artist is Dale Gunter.
Okay.
And another hobby artist, and he plays pool at our facility very regularly, and he just popped in my office one day and said, hey, I do these wonderful, they're cutouts. They're like, I don't know how to explain them. They're like vinyl cutouts, but they're actually a print size that's framed, and it's all of Native American art.
Cool.
So it's very unique, again, very unique, different, and first time show for him. He's, I think, looking forward to it. He's got a little trepidation. He's
really, yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's ready.
Okay.
He's ready.
And then, do you do something special around the holidays? Do you do like a sort of like a holiday showcase or anything like that?
We haven't done that.
Okay.
We haven't done that. That's a good idea, though. So
shopping opportunity, retail extravaganza.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, many people are, especially when it's time to look for, any kind of a gift. It's the idea that you can buy somebody something that's handmade, especially if it's produced locally, that has a lot of appeal. So maybe this is a good time to encourage anyone watching the show that if they're looking for something special for their home or for somebody else,
Come
stop
down.
by. Yeah, for sure.
Come down. Actually, we bought a wedding gift off of this display. It was a tribal wedding. It was a picture of that, so a painting of that.
Cool.
And I thought, oh, well, that's a unique wedding gift. So
something really
very different.
Yeah, I mean, something that's not from the Nordstrom's registry,
right?
That anybody can't get you. That's what I think is so fabulous and wonderful about art is that every piece is different. Every piece is unique, and when you have something that nobody else has, which
That's
is
that's right.
There's something to be said for that. So really quickly, I'm going to tell you the story of our chicken.
Well, I was wondering about that chicken, and somebody actually asked me about that chicken. So.
Okay, so since we're almost out of time, I'll tell you the story. Jerry Eichten is the managing director of this station of McMinnville Community Media. And when his son was in grade school, he made that in his art class. And I don't know exactly how it wound up here. Maybe he, gave it to his dad for, I don't know, Father's Day or something, so Jerry had it here. And one time we were just sort of looking around it when we were at the other studio, and I said, what's that? And let's put it on the, we put it up kind of as a joke in a way.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of turned into the mascot of Arts Alive. And so I have a real huge a soft spot for the chicken. So.
Oh, I think he's beautiful.
So, yeah.
Very nice addition.
That's the story. Well, Ann, I'd really like to thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Lynda.
And wish you a lot of success with the gallery. And it sounds like, in the year and a half or so that it's been super successful.
It's been wonderful.